I've heard it said that 80% of success is just showing up. And that has definitely been true for me in 2024. Earlier this year, I decided to show up in some spaces that I hadn't shown up in before. And it was uncomfortable at times, and it was risky because I would be opening myself up to criticism for trying something new. But taking that action helped me to move to the next level. So I want to share my story about that, and I want to give 3 ways that showing up in 2025 can help you to succeed. So earlier this year, I decided that I would go on social media and start to teach through video. My first video concept was very basic. All I did was share some of the things that I learned from the books that I read that year. That's all. I didn't know if anybody would listen. I didn't know if anybody cared besides my mom. All I knew was that I had something of value to share to others. So I just posted, and to my surprise, the response was overwhelmingly positive. So many people commented, so many people were inspired, and I knew at that point that I had struck gold. And all I had to do was keep going. Here's 3 things I learned from that experience. Number 1, showing up creates opportunities. There's a mindset that when my opportunity comes, I will make sure that I show up. I'm saying show up and you will create those opportunities that you're looking for. Within a week of posting that simple video, I got invited onto a podcast. One of my teammates from college, he does a podcast. He's been doing it for years now, but we had never spoke about coming onto his podcast until I had posted that video. So what that told me is that showing up is going to put me on the radar. Showing up will put you on the radar for the people who are looking for what you have to offer. So show up even if you think you're not ready. Number 2, showing up makes the next steps more clear. At the end of 2023, I started my first business. I had an idea of what I wanted in the end, but I didn't know every single step from A to Z. And if I had waited until I knew every single step in the process, I would have never gotten started. I started off wanting to serve people in leadership. Now I'm at the point where I want to serve men with families. I want to serve men who want to show up and be better husbands and better fathers and be the man that God has called them to be in their household. So my purpose got more clear as I started going. So if you're starting something new, get started. The next steps will become clear and you'll be able to correct as you move on. Number 3, showing up makes you better. It's hard for me to even watch the videos that I put out in 2024 because I feel like it's so bad. And what I came to realize was if I think that's bad, that means I'm growing. You may think that I need to get better before I show up, but showing up is going to make you get better because you're going to get that feedback process. You're going to get that feedback. You're going to start to understand what works, what doesn't work, and you're going to make corrections and get 1% better every single day, every single time. And I think that's what we're all looking for in 2025. We want to be more so that we can have more, so that we can give more. And the process of being more is showing up as you are and getting better each and every day as you start to learn what works and what doesn't work. Let me close with a story. I wanted to set up my next duty assignment, so I went out and asked the organization that I wanted to be a part of, hey, is there any space available in the summer of 2025? They came back to me and said, no, there's no space available in the summer of 2025, but we will let you know if something pops up. Several months later, this organization had a meeting. I'm about 3 hours away from this meeting, so I was going to attend virtually, but then I decided, you know what? Let me take off work, let me go crash the party, and let me go attend in person because they were having a social event after the meeting. I showed up to the meeting. I showed up to the social after the meeting, have some crackers, have some small talk with the people who would be my future bosses. Took the 3-hour drive back home. That was on a Thursday. And I kid you not, that following Monday, my captain calls me and says, Andre, there's an urgent job opening at this organization and they want you to fill the job, but they need you to go now. I said, Captain, I can't leave at that time because of my family, but I can do the summer of 2025. He reaches back out to the organization. They said the summer of 2025 is good. So A door was closed and it magically opened. What was the difference? I showed up. 2024 taught me to show up. And 2025, it's about being consistent and showing up. And it's about going for it. And I hope you go for it with me in 2025.